in an area that they have designated to receive assignments. But again, that is another thing that you will have to become familiar with how your instructor wants you to submit assignments. Any questions about the layout of the online classroom? Okay, and then step 7 is I just have a few tips and tricks from online instructors. What we did was we asked online instructors, what are some things that you would say that for students who were not successful in online classes, what were some of the places that you could give them some advice about how they can be successful? And the first thing is log into Blackboard often. 3 to 5 times per week minimum is the suggestion. It's because one of the things about an online course is, and this is the sad reality, it is really easy to forget you're in an online course. Because if you don't log into the classroom, very rarely is your instructor going to send you an email reminding you to do your work. Now, you should get emails if you didn't submit your assignment. At least in the first couple weeks of class, if you didn't submit your assignments, you may get an email from your instructor. But once you get to about the midterm point, if you're not submitting assignments, your instructor may not contact you. So it's not like in a classroom where if you walk in and didn't submit your assignment, your instructor may walk over to you and ask you a question about it. At a certain point in the semester, the instructor assumes that if you're actively participating in the class, that you will be submitting assignments and participating in the course. So stay connected to Blackboard. Most instructors, if they're going to post updates or anything about the course, it is only happening inside of the online classroom. So when you log in, there's an announcements area where your instructor is updating you on announcements for the class. Those announcements are hardly ever emailed, and the only way you would see them is by going to the Blackboard classroom. So one suggestion or recommendation is that you log in often. Second one is do your work offline. What that means is save your files before you send them. So what we recommend is any assignment that you are working on, you are going to first open up your word processor, complete the assignment, save the assignment, and then go into the Blackboard classroom and copy or cut and paste. Well, I'm going to say copy and paste the assignment into Blackboard. So here is why you would want to do that. And I'm sure this has happened to each and every one of you. You are on your email and you are typing an email directly into your email system on Yahoo. Something happens, the computer, whatever, the browser freezes up, and the email that you were working on is gone. That happened to anybody? Everybody, probably. So what we're saying is you don't want to be in the middle of working on your assignment, something go wrong with your computer, your web browser, the electricity in your house, the computer turns off, and everything that you typed in on your assignment is gone. When you are actively working in the Blackboard classroom, nothing is saved. It is not saved until you click submit. That means that as you are typing in the Blackboard classroom, you will not have access to that information until you're able to scroll down to the bottom of the page and click submit. To prevent any problems between when you started typing and clicking submit, the best advice we can offer you is create the assignment in Word, save it, so that if something happens before you click submit when you go into Blackboard, all you would have to do is go back to your Word document and then cut or copy and paste the information again. Any questions about that? Okay. Keep a copy of all of your assignments. I've said that probably 10 times so far, and I keep saying that because oftentimes I will get an email from a student, and let me just back up and sort of give you a sense of what my role is as Director of eLearning Services. So in addition to supporting the online program, I really am the person that is I don't like to say the mediator, but I'm the person, the liaison, that's a good word, the liaison between the student and the faculty, the department, and even the Vice President of Academic Affairs. So typically what happens is if there is a problem in an online class and you report the problem, and here's a typical situation. At the end of the semester, and this happens every single semester, this one included, that we get a grade dispute. And the grade dispute is because the student says, I submitted my assignments, or I could not resubmit the paper that I submitted because the document disappeared off of my computer. These are the kinds of things that go wrong. In academic affairs, between the instructor, the chair, the dean, if they have a question about how the technology in the online course works, they contact me and they say, tell me how, is this possible? Can you go into Blackboard and find any evidence that the student actually submitted the paper, or whatever, to try to figure out what happened? And I will tell you that the expectation is that I'll say, if they submitted the assignment, the student should be able to reproduce the assignment. And so it really is going to be your responsibility to be able to reproduce anything that you created in the course. Okay? Get help when you have a problem. Don't wait. If you have a problem in your course, you have to contact somebody, anybody, everybody. No, you have to do that, because when you have a problem, if you don't let anyone know, the assumption is you're not having a problem. And I think in an online class, it becomes more important, because rather than assume you're having a problem if they don't hear anything, they assume that everything is going well when they don't hear anything. So make sure that you ask for help when you have a problem. Call our office, call your instructor, just call anyone, and I actually have a chain of command of things that you can do on the next slide. So get help when you have a problem. Resolve your computer problems as soon as possible, or find another computer. If your computer stops working and you spend 3 or 4 days on it and it's not working, move on. Move to the next computer. Go to the library. Go to your office. You cannot spend weeks or 3 weeks in getting behind on your assignments in an attempt to get your computer fixed. Avoid plagiarism. This is probably the biggest misunderstanding for all students, but particularly online students, is plagiarism. It is each student's responsibility to understand what plagiarism is and what plagiarism is not. One of the reasons why I actually added this one to the slide, didn't have a faculty member recommend it, but one of the reasons why I thought that this was something that was extremely important is because a lot of students don't realize that you could actually fail a course because of plagiarism. You can be expelled from school because of plagiarism, depending upon the severity and the number of infractions. And also because I know that the college does 2 things that a lot of students may not be aware of. One is that we actually have software that when you submit a paper, your instructor can put your paper in a database, and it goes against everything on the internet, as well as a database of all other students across the country at institutions who are using the same software, that they are tracking how much, and what it does is it detects what percentage of your paper came from various sources. Not only does it tell the instructor what percentage, it actually goes and pulls up the website, the document, the journal, the article, the newspaper, wherever those words came from, and gives them a full report of where you may have gotten this information from. And probably the most unbelievable thing is it's not just those resources. It also is, if you have a friend that goes to Morgan State and they gave you a paper, it can check against that as well. So it really is a fairly sophisticated system that is looking to make sure that that all of the papers, and this is really an educational issue when we start talking about educational integrity, making sure that each institution, that students at all institutions are submitting original pieces of work, and that the grade that you received in your course is truly the grade that you earned, and that story goes on. That's one thing that we're doing. The second thing that we are doing that is kind of surprising to some students is that if it is decided that you will fail the course that you're in because of your plagiarism infraction, there is a grade that students can receive, and it is, so if you will fail the course because you plagiarized, you will get an F in the course. But in addition to getting an F in the course, they put an asterisk on your transcript, and what the asterisk next to the F means is that you failed that course, but you failed the course because you plagiarized. And that will follow you for the rest of your academic career. So it really is important that you understand and you avoid plagiarism. Okay, any questions on that? Because that really is a big one. Okay.